It's our time, Cleveland Browns fans. And what do you mean by it's our time? Today is the opportunity that we've been looking forward to. Today is the time where so many of us in the past have looked forward to having a team, a roster like we have right now with the Cleveland Browns. And I'm seeing a lot of people around the community, a lot of people around in our blogs, on our radio stations that are just gun shy, shell shocked. A lot of people are still spilling the rhetoric from their grandfathers, still spilling the rhetoric from their fathers. It's a new day. The sins of the father have nothing to do with what we're doing today, right? It is our time. And I think right now there's a lot of people that don't understand that we put the time in, we put the effort in, and that now is our time. 10 years ago, go back and look at this division. 10 years ago, look at the division and look what quarterback stood in our way. Ben Roethlisberger in our way, in a big way. I'm so tired of hearing about how many wins he had in Cleveland Stadium versus the guys that we had, right? Right? You go back and you look at Joe Flacco. You take a look at this guy, he was 18, 19 wins. Matter of fact, he got a win last year playing backup duty with the New York Jets. We had to hear about him all day and twice on Sunday. Go back and look 10 years ago. This isn't the first time the Cincinnati Bengals have been here or arrived. They were doing that with Marvin Lewis. They were playing bully ball with Vontaze Burfict and Pac-Man Jones, and they had Andy Dalton. We had to hear about the Red Rifle for 10 years. Now you telling me, after we've dealt with all those guys, and they push us to the back, and they tell us and remind us how terrible we were, and remind us how we didn't have a quarterback, and remind us how well those guys came into Cleveland Brown Stadium and played football well. You telling me that 10 years later, we get old enough to see those guys retire like Big Ben? We see these guys like Andy Dalton become backup and journeymen? And you meaning to tell me we still got to lose to these teams? We still got to play the humble role? We still got to play second fiddle to guys that are old and done? Now we see the new guys coming up. And they want us automatically to pay homage to Kenny Pickett, Cody Pickett, whatever his name is. You telling me you want us to pay homage to that guy again, right? Oh, he's the second coming of everything. He's so good. Oh my goodness, he threw 5 passes in the preseason. Tell me, let me ask you an example. What's the difference between Deshaun Watson's 6 games that he played and them ones that Kenny Pickett was playing last year that was terrible? I'll wait. You see, that's the narrative that goes around. They'll count 6 games for Deshaun Watson, but they won't count 6 games for Kenny. Oh, he was learning, and look what he did in the preseason, but it don't count for Deshaun Watson. Let's get right down to the brass tacks of it. A lot of y'all don't understand how I get down here in the barbershop. We're not splitting no hairs on this. Right now, we're trying to motivate y'all to understand y'all got a team that can go places. Y'all got a team with a franchise quarterback. Y'all got a team with a franchise running back. And y'all got a group and a fan base that is scared to support them, that's scared to stand on what they're supposed to stand on, that is scared to stay. And listen, we got one of the best pass rushers in the world with Myles Garrett. Why are we sitting here talking about Kenny Pickett and TJ Watt and Hayward and all these guys like these dudes is the second cup? Listen, I don't see it. I don't see it. I get it. Oh, we have to see it first, G. Bush. If I got to see it first, I don't care nothing about Kenny Pickett then. Just let's be clear about it. But it's time. It is time for us to step up and stand out and stand on what we are supposed to be standing on. And by the way, Deshaun Watson has been better than Lamar Jackson. By the way, Deshaun Watson is better than Kenny Pickett. And by the way, Joe Burrow, I like you a lot. You my guy, but you can get broke off too. It's time that we got to talk about it. It's time. Listen, I like Joe Burrow, but he could catch that smoke too. That's the type of energy that we got to start having if we're going to have a football team that's worth anything. My job is not to be bowing down to guys. Last time I checked, you didn't win no Super Bowl. I like Patrick Mahomes, and that's who we trying to get after and how we going to get good move. But until we start disrespecting the people in our own backyard, and until we start playing bully ball with the guys in our own backyard and start giving them that same energy that they give us, we ain't never going to get no respect. I'm tired of turning my radios on, having people act like they begging the Steelers to let us win. Maybe 10-7, maybe 10-7, we can get it done. Maybe 10-7. Maybe, possibly. I don't know how we go from 10-7 to 12-5. I just don't see that. You ain't seen nothing. That's the problem. We done lost so much, you can't even see what's right in front of your face. We done lost so much that I heard people arguing. Listen, shout out to Autumn Graham, but if it wasn't in living color, I don't respect it. I'm sorry. I need to see you in full color. I need to see that. And at the end of the day, we're at a point where people have been bad so long, they can no longer tell what's the difference between mediocre, good, stellar, or horrible. But don't worry, that's why you got the barbershop. That's why you got your boy G. Bush in here. It's the Browns' time. We've waited. The 1-31, we've waited patiently, taking all the wisecracks, all the late night jokes. We waited. We waited our turn. But guess what? I'm going to be petty on Twitter this year. That was my New Year's resolution. This guy, I'm petty on Twitter. Wait till we get to rolling it up. And I know I ain't the only one. I done talked to all these guys. See, listen, behind the scenes, you know what they telling me? Deshaun got something to prove. You know what behind the scenes they telling me? G. Bush, we got that energy. We going to be special. We going up top. We got something. You think Nick Chubb ain't stewing? You think Nick Chubb ain't? Stop playing with us like that, bro. And when they go ahead and validate that, I'm waiting to get back. I'm waiting to get that energy where when you come up in the Cleveland Browns Stadium, you got something to behold. And Joe Burrow, guess what? You better be 100%. I want to see you with that leg. Come on here and limp it in here. We got something for you. We got something for you. Coming up here, we just don't talk about it. We're not going to just motivate you. We're going to get to some keys here. Because I think it's not only the Browns' time just because, you want to do rah-rah stuff. I think that it's the Browns' time for a specific reason. The Browns have now had a collective talent and a collective base that there aren't any excuses. There aren't any. I tried to find one for them. Couldn't do it. I couldn't find no excuse for them, right? I'm looking down the list. I'm like, you looking down the list, you like, listen, I'm about to make this. It's about to be a crazy dish. Let me go to the store and see if they got these. See, they done had the nerve. They had the ground beef special over here. Let me give me 2 packs of them. Oh, look at this lettuce. This lettuce is fresh as hell. Give me some of that lettuce. Let me go over here. I know they ain't about to let me see. They got some apple cider over here. I want some apple cider. It's kind of good in fall of the year. Let me see. They got the apple cider over here ready early during the year. They done messed around and let me get 2 gallons of that. Let me top it all off. Hold on. What's this? Oh, y'all got cheese. Let me get these cheese. Let me get some tomatoes. They're like, what you making, G. Bush? I don't know. You just put it all in a pot and it's going to be good because everything is fresh and everything is on deck. If I'm looking at this Cleveland Browns offense, and this is why I be saying people do you guys listen to music or do you just skim through it? I'm starting to think you guys don't watch film. I'm starting to think that you guys don't do anything but roll over and come on. Let me just show up. Yeah, I'm doing a radio show. Let me just show up and just say everything that all the guys on NFL Network. And by the way, have you already started to see the tides turning a little bit? G. Bush done put out 3-4 videos, and all of a sudden, so one of the people said they couldn't even mention the Cleveland Browns name until Bucky Brooks had to break it down for them. Until the guys who actually played, that put that homework in, actually saw what they doing on the field and said, oh, goodness. See, half of it is this, guys, when you talk about when you preview this situation and why Cleveland Browns is down. It's not that they don't know you got talent. They just hope you ain't playing well. I hope I don't have to mention this guy, Deshaun Watson. Good gracious, I don't want to mention him as one of the best players in the league. I mean, he's killing us right now. I hope he fumbles. See, that's wishful thinking. Because if you was watching what we have, there's no way. Tell me a top 5 quarterback and a top 5 running back, the best running back. Tell me. Look around. Where's the best pass rusher in the league? He resides in Cleveland, Ohio. Where's one of the best offensive line? Resides right here in your backyard. Now, what are you going to say? What are you talking about? What are we saying here? And tomorrow, I'm saying tomorrow. This is Wednesday. I'm recording Wednesday. Make sure. Matter of fact, if y'all in here, hit that like button for me. I can't see what y'all doing. If y'all like what I'm talking about, hit that like button. Stop playing with me. But listen, it's Wednesday. The reality of it is people say, you know what? I would have liked to have Joe Burrow be out. You know what? I ain't trying to hear none of that. Come on out here, Joe. Because what I want to do is I want to make an example out of Joe Burrow. And I want to make an example out of the Cincinnati Bengals to say, if they did that to the Bengals, what are they going to do to us? If that pass rush got to Joe Burrow like that, what are they going to do with Kenny Pickett? If they jumping routes like that, if they physical at the point of attack like that, if they catching the football like that, if Deshaun Watson is on like that, if he leading the huddle like that, if Kevin Stefanski is scheming up players like that, we in trouble. That's exactly what I want to see. I don't want nothing else than Joe Burrow. I like the mentality that the Chiefs got. We match up better with the Buffalo Bills, but we want Joe Burrow. Bring him over here. I like you too. You from Athens. I went to OU. No, your pops is cool, but at the end of the day, we want to smoke. That's the type of energy that we need to be having. Because quiet as kept, Cleveland, you got one of them dudes in your backyard too. You got one of them dudes. You just ain't seen it yet. I know. You got one of them dogs too at quarterback. You got one of them dudes that can thread it. You got one of those guys. I know you ain't seen it yet. But trust me, come Sunday, we on.